Well, hello, everyone. I am Rihanna Harilal, President and founder of the Voice of Lupus Foundation. Tonight, I want to invite you into our space to tell you a little bit more about the Voice of Lupus Foundation, who we are, and what we do. So thank you for your time. The Voice of Lupus Foundation, a pillar of strength. For a life with no lupus, we must know lupus. Remember, there is us in lupus.
The letter of the day is L. L is for lupus. Lupus is a disease that attacks your immune system. It is not contagious. It does not have a cure. It is not a blood or skin cancer. It don't have anything to do with HIV and AIDS. And it's definitely nothing to do with leprosy as they have in the Bible. Although we as trainees, we have to learn a little more about these different type of things. So let me tell you, call the lupus hotline today at 327-0220, and you'll get some more information about these things. Remember, at the end of the day, there is an us in lupus, so we must raise awareness today. Lupus.
That's right. Lupus is not a type of cancer, it's not a blood disease, and it's certainly not leprosy in the Bible. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease. So the Voice of Lupus Foundation, who are we? Well, we are a registered NGO fiercely committed to improving the quality of life for all people living with lupus in Trinidad and Tobago since 2011 by investing in initiatives that promote advocacy, awareness, public education, and support of patients. The VLF is the only national force devoted to giving one of the world's cruelest, most unpredictable and devastating diseases a voice through advocacy, public awareness, education, while giving caring support to those who suffer from its brutal impact. In 2011, when I started the Voice of Lupus Foundation, I was a journalist. I worked as a broadcast journalist in the field of print, radio, and television for over 15 years. I was also awarded the Hummingbird Gold Medal in the spheres of community service, empowerment, and education for my role in raising awareness of lupus. In 2015, I was also awarded the National Youth Ally Award by the Ministry of Gender, Youth, and Child Development for the advocacy efforts I have spearheaded in Trinidad and Tobago. The following is an infomercial that we filmed back in 2012 featuring lupus patients right here in Trinidad.
There are days when I pray for the wisdom to get through lupus day by day. I live in indescribable pain every day.
Lupus is a daily struggle just to get out of bed.
I'm in the prime of my life, and lupus has robbed me of part of my future.
I am 18. Lupus has forced me to quit school. Now I am permanently disabled. My body cannot distinguish good from bad, so all my cells are in battle.
There is no cure for lupus, and in Trinidad and Tobago, awareness is lacking.
Lupus can feel like a death sentence. I wish I didn't have to suffer all the time.
The treatment for lupus can be worse than the disease.
And can also get lupus, but it is not contagious.
I refuse to sit back and allow lupus to take a hold of me.
That's right. We're not going to sit back and allow lupus to take a hold of us. The Voice of Lupus Foundation also started the Lupus Learning Resource Center. Now, the center was launched back in 2018, and it aims to provide education, and support to individuals affected by lupus and their families. The center provides the much needed education, resources, and support to help individuals with lupus and their families better manage the disease and improve their quality of life. The Voice of Lupus Foundation's Lupus Learning Resource Center offers a wide range of resources and services, including educational workshops and support groups, and a library of information about lupus and its management. The organization's goal is to empower individuals affected by lupus to take control of their health and improve their quality of life. Now, the main objectives of the Lupus Learning Resource Center, located in Pleasantville, San Fernando, are: 1, increase awareness and understanding of lupus among individuals, families, and healthcare professionals in the community at large. 2, improve access to information and support for individuals living with lupus and their families. We provide monthly food support to low-income patients. Some of them are not working. Some of them are recipients of social grants and the invalidity grant as well. We also, at number 3, empower individuals to manage their condition effectively through education and self-management programs. We also donate medications to those who cannot afford their treatment owing to job loss or just being on public assistance, disability, or the invalidity grant. Well, the Voice of Lupus Foundation is endorsed internationally. We have been endorsed publicly and affiliated with the Lupus Foundations of America, Canada, Australia, Lupus UK, and of course, Lupus Europe. In March of 2017, we were made an honorary overseas member of Lupus UK. The VLF is also a member of the World Lupus Federation. And here are some of the letters of endorsement from Lupus UK, Lupus Europe, and of course the World Lupus Federation. And here we are, along with one of my directors, Mr. Shamraj Balgobin, and I, standing with lupus advocates from the United States of America on the Capitol Hill of Albany in New York. We joined US senators, including US Senator Kevin Parker, to lobby the government for more funding for research. And of course, history was in the making with the declaration and proclamation of World Lupus Day, May 10th, being observed in the Capitol. Over the years, for 13 years, the Voice of Lupus Foundation has been featured on local newspapers, magazines, and international magazines as well, and newspapers. We have certainly given lupus a voice on all platforms, and we use the influence to raise awareness. And these are just some of the articles over the years where we would have been featured in some of the daily newspapers, magazines, and of course, the Khaleej Times in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, actually. We've also had some extensive media coverage, both on television and radio, appearing on various morning edition programs, morning shows, television talk shows. And of course, local endorsements from all local celebrities like Dwight York, a son of Tobago, singing icon Destra Garcia and Saucy, Denise Belfon, I mean. Our former Miss Universe, Janelle. Former politician and THA Chief Secretary over London. This country's First Lady. So those are just some of the few influencers, former, central bank governor, health minister, Olympian champion, Keyshawn Walcott, Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Well, she's no longer in that office, but at the time. And comedian and celebrity, Rhodey. And as we talk about the position of influence, the Voice of Lupus Foundation has certainly dominated the newspapers and the media in terms of using that platform to lobby the government to ensure that there was an adequate supply of hydroxychloroquine for lupus patients in Trinidad and Tobago amid the COVID-19 pandemic and concerns of global shortages being reported worldwide. So this was in April of 2020. We were able to secure these drugs for patients, with this drug in particular, hydroxychloroquine. We were able to make a difference. And so too, we were able to get the support of AP Scott, who donated 20 boxes of the hydroxychloroquine so that we can donate to those most vulnerable, those patients who are not working, owing to social grants, disability, that sort of thing. So we were able to have that impact. So we've discussed a lot. Now, what is lupus and what are the signs and symptoms of lupus? We're taking this video to learn more.
Could it be lupus? Lupus symptoms can show up in many different ways.
Skin rash, pain or swelling in your joints,
Extreme exhaustion, no matter how much you sleep.
Low-grade fevers you can't explain.
hair loss,
Recurring sores in your mouth.
sensitivity to the sun, pain in your chest when taking a deep breath.
Fingers or toes turning blue or white and feeling numb.
Getting an early diagnosis of lupus is critical for preventing long-term consequences of the disease. Learn more by contacting the Voice of Lupus Foundation at 327-0220 or 221-9677.
Remember, there is us in lupus.
Indeed, there is us in lupus. So many of you have heard the word lupus and might not have known that there are actually 4 types of lupus. There is systemic lupus erythematosus that affects all the organs in the body. There is discoid lupus erythematosus, which affects just the skin, which is the largest organ in the body. There's something called neonatal lupus and drug-induced lupus. Some of the signature projects that the Voice of Lupus Foundation has spearheaded over the past 13 years include observing our annual Public Information Day and Candlelight Vigil as we celebrate or commemorate World Lupus Day on May 10th every year, as well as Lupus Awareness Months in May and October. We also partner yearly with the Carafin Games. The Carafin Games uses sports to build public awareness of lupus within the financial services sector. We also host health fairs with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, the Trade and Investment Convention, as well as the Diabetes Association and the Caribbean Lifestyle Diabetes Center, among other NGOs. But before the pandemic, we held quarterly lupus support group meetings for patients. And of course, ongoing, we have our Let's Talk Lupus educational sessions and webinars that are held monthly. Before the pandemic, we were also hosting monthly Tobago lupus awareness campaigns, both at Penny Savers Supermarket as well as Gulf City Mall in Lowlands, Tobago. We also host annual Christmas luncheon as well as our hamper drive. Sometimes we did it through the hospitals and of course on the Sister Isle. And of course, on a monthly basis, we provide assistance to low-income patients through our Hand of Hope project, in which we provide financial assistance to cover the cost of medical testing, screening, medical equipment. We have blessed many with wheelchairs, walkers, nebulizer machines, as well as even paying for consultants and specialists in the field of nephrology, ophthalmology, cardiology, etc. And these are just some photos we would have captured of patients during World Lupus Day observances in 2018, 2019. 2019 was the last year we actually held activities to commemorate World Lupus Day. So we're happy that we will be returning to the streets of San Fernando. Of course, in the years gone by, we'd have done it at Brian Lara Promenade in Port of Spain, but all roads lead to south, to San Fernando this year. And in case you're wondering what takes place on World Lupus Day or what it looks like, you can tune into this video and see for yourselves.
But now it's going wrong and you're scared as hell. What you gonna do? Who you gonna tell? Maybe
100 bad days made 100 good stories. 100 good stories make me interesting at parties.
100 bad days made 100 good stories. 100 good stories make me interesting at parties. Yeah, no, I ain't scared of you. No, I ain't scared of you. No,
So we hope to see you this year as we go to the city of San Fernando to host our Public Information Day, and of course to the Paris Promenade, where we would lead a silent procession from Library Quarter all the way to the promenade for our candlelight vigil. And of course, some photos capturing moments when we give to our patients on the Sister Isle, blessing them with food hampers. And of course, our lupus awareness campaign in Tobago at Gulf City Mall in Lowlands, as well as at the Canaan Bonaccord Senior Citizens Activities Center. So we are making a difference. The voice of lupus continues to create change through advocacy, public awareness, education, and support. We are giving lupus a voice and improving the quality of life for lupus sufferers in Trinidad and Tobago, one patient at a time. Here are some photos that captured our advocacy efforts, our education efforts, our public awareness efforts over the years. So we have certainly done a lot to give lupus a voice and to build that capacity to create change and to provide awareness. And these are some testimonials from patients as well as corporate Trinidad and Tobago of persons just sharing the impact that we have had over the last decade and counting. So this is what you see versus what you don't see, and this is why the theme for this year is let's make lupus visible. The symptoms of lupus may not always be visible, but lupus patients are not invisible.
and the day I know, thousand times again, and I rise up. Thousand times again.
And yes, we will rise up like the phoenix out of the ashes. So there is us in lupus, and with your help, we are reaching more and more people to tell them that lupus is a devastating disease that needs to be a public health priority in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, across the world. On average, it takes a person 6 years from the onset of their symptoms until they receive a lupus diagnosis. That's 6 years too long. And in that time, the disease can do so much damage. As a lupus advocate and a patient, I know we must do better. Lives depend on it. Lupus is a life-altering and a potentially fatal autoimmune disease affecting thousands of Trinbagonians. It is more pervasive and severe than people think and has a devastating impact that the public doesn't realize. While this condition has no boundaries, understanding lupus can help control its impact. So let's go purple on World Lupus Day, and let's help make lupus visible in Trinidad and Tobago. So join us if you can. If you are in the city of San Fernando, Trinidad, join us as we go purple to make lupus visible. Thank you.